What is going on, folks? Cannabis stock news today here, getting ready for the trading day of September 11th. And I'm just doing some research on Village Farms International, that's ticker symbol VFF. Doing some research, I've been scouring the dark webs of the internet for you guys, and here we go. Without further ado, here's the research, folks. And this is all stuff that's post earnings, which was positive earnings, and I haven't really seen a jump in price yet. So this first article is about Roth Capital analyst Scott Fortune raised the price target on Village Farms to $29 while maintaining a buy rating. Can't see the rest of this, but that's a pretty high price target. So great article, just released one day ago, September 9th, 2019. It's a great article if you own Village Farms shares like I do. And here's this other article. It's also very positive because it talks about a buy rating of $30 from this guy named Andrew Parthenu from GMP Securities. Alright, it goes on to say some good things about the company. And, oh yeah, what is $30 Canadian? That's $22.83. So this guy, and this article is from September 10th. This guy put a $22.83. So we're looking at $22.83 from this guy, September 10th. That other guy was on September 10th also. Alright? So one day ago, these guys have these very high estimates. This other guy puts a $60 Canadian, so that's about just under $45 United States. This guy named Doug Cooper from Beacon Securities. And he also calls Village Farms the king of cannabis on August 14th, just a little under a month ago. And in February, the same guy, Doug Cooper, looks like he had a much lower estimate. But now, of course, if you look at it, Doug Cooper, he's going with the almost $45 American target. Okay, and these four names, we looked at articles from three of these guys, of these analysts here, from Beacon, GMP, Craig Hallam, and Roth. Insider transactions, you got the let's see here, give me a second, very high numbers on the insider institution holdings. There's 20 total institutions holding. Some high numbers here, and you can see that Two Sigma owns two different places there, and Morgan Stanley holding almost 10 million shares. A lot of, dollars worth. 10 million, almost $10 million worth. So a lot of money being held by institutions. Inside roster. Of course, the CEO of Village Farms is known for holding 20% himself of the company, and you can see 10 million shares displayed right there. This is the Stephen Ruffini guy. If you look at the insider transactions, you see let it pull up for a second. You see there's no one selling. Sales are zero, looks like, or something. It says in the last 6 months. So I just like to, I was looking at these. I assume that these are all buying, but you see $11 range, and you see these guys in the $15 range. You see one guy, he bought 300,000 shares, and this Ruffini character, and you see some guys bought it way back, not too many at all on this list that bought it when it was a lot cheaper. So you see 15 and 11 mostly. Let's go to the next tab here, where you see this article about they're not only is Pure Sun Farms going to be selling to British Columbia, they'll be selling to Ontario, as well as the private retailers are going to be, and this is called the packaging license. That's a big deal that they've been waiting for really since earnings. They've been waiting for the packaging license, and I believe that's what they talked about in the earnings, was waiting for that one release that just came out on September 9th. And so now we're back on, let's see, September 10th. There's going to be we got the Michael DiGiglio is going to be the CEO. It's going to VFF. He'll be in Australia presenting at the Scotiabank Cannabis Company Forum. And this is an interesting thing I found on the New Cannabis Ventures website. If you click on ranking, they kind of have the revenue tracker. So if you click on it, you can just see the full. They have it separated by U.S. dollar reporting on the top, and then you got Canada on the bottom. I have it listed by adjusted operating income, and you'll see Village Farms ranked number 2nd of all cannabis companies in adjusted operating income. Over 9 million compared to Trulieve over 20 million, and everybody else is just not even. They have no adjusted operating income. They're just they're spending money on their farms. You see Canopy and Aurora strongly in negative in this category. Put these in order. These are all the negative ones. So the positive ones on the Canadian reporting side are, you see Med Farms, Organigram. Then there's negative ones. The positive ones on the dollar side are, what is it? This many companies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's like out of all those companies, you see only a very few that are okay. It's just they're standing out in this chart in this column, folks. If you go to the quarterly sales, let's see. You see you have different companies standing out, but they might be losing money on building farms. I was looking at Trulieve after seeing these stats too. But now let's cut to this guy, this famous dude. He does this Mad Money show, and he was on his interview of the CEO of Village Farms from August.
Let's dig deeper with Mike DiGiglio. He is the CEO of Village Farms International. To learn more about his company and where it's headed, Mr. DiGiglio, welcome to Mad Money.
Hello. Pleasure to be here, Jim.
Thank you, sir. Since this is your first time on the show, could you walk our viewers through what you guys do and how you pivoted from being a company that was really a greenhouse for vegetables into something much bigger and I think more lucrative?
Sure. Well, Village Farms, we have 3 decades of large-scale precision agriculture. We have almost 10 million square feet of production in greenhouses between the U.S. and Canada, and tremendous know-how, decades of experience growing these high-value crops. So for us, the switch to cannabis was just really another agricultural crop, and in that regard, we saw the transformation of our assets through a much more valuable crop from produce. So, we've been very happy in the produce business. We're shifting that platform south of the U.S. border due to NAFTA, and the cannabis products, cannabis in Canada as well as CBD in the U.S. just gives us a great opportunity to deliver unmatched results, and that's where we're headed.
I looked at your growth, which is extraordinary, but also you have a very well-aligned management team. You own a great deal, and I think a lot of people want in the cannabis space, they're not used to seeing that. A lot of the CEOs have almost no stock. You're pretty entrenched here, right?
Sure. I have about 20% ownership in the company. I'm the founder 30 years ago. And I really believe in the future. So I'm aligned with our shareholders, and I think it brings a different element because I'm at risk. And, dilution's only dilution if the share price doesn't go up, but we take it very seriously. We want to be 80% correct that decisions we make will pay out. And in that regard, I think I am different, but it's really about our team. We're very team-oriented. We're Village Farms. Most of our people have been with us 20, 25 years, if not 30. And more importantly, the young team that we've put together in Pure Sun Farms that have taken our strategy and now bringing it to a CPG platform in Canada, I think is very exciting. I think as we launch our brand, on top of the fact that we're probably one of the top performing companies in the space, at least from profitability, both sides of the border, highest EBITDA, highest margin, low cost producer. And I can tell you in my 30 years, there's nothing more prudent than being a low cost producer in agriculture because every commodity every agriculture commodity will eventually commoditize out. So will this.
Right. Now, one last question. I know that you low-cost producer, which is terrific, but you do have extensive relationships from your vegetable business with companies like Walmart, with Whole Foods, with Trader Joe's, with Kroger. Would they be willing to take your vegetables, your cannabis, and you sell it to them white label, and they make CBD products out of their own?
That's absolutely on our radar screen because, it's taken a lot over 30 years to have these relationships, and these are great companies, and you don't just get in the door easily. So if we can leverage that up, even though they're different departments, at least we're coming in with a reputation of selling most retailers in the U.S. and Canada over 30 years, and we look forward to doing that, as well as developing or purchasing our own brands as we move forward. So, yeah, that's all on the table.
All right, terrific. Congratulations, it's a good quarter. Sorry you had to report during such a rough time for the market. Too bad. Thank you. Okay, that's right, Michael DeGilio.
All right, folks, and now we got another. Oh yeah, this is the. If you go to the Village Farms website, they finally pretty high on the website they mention hemp, and here's a video. They talk about the Village Fields hemp 2019 season is looking very promising. With over 750 acres growing in several states. Also, if you dig through a different article about tomatoes, they start mentioning cannabis, where the CEO mentions that they put transformed their smallest farm into a cannabis farm. Anyway, here's the video about the hemp production. It's off of the Village Farm website, and also the last video we just saw was off of the Village Farm's website as well. Here we go. Roll the tape, folks.
After passage of the Farm Bill in late 2018, Village Fields Hemp was conceived as a joint venture between Village Farms International and Nature Crisp to grow industrial hemp in the United States, presumably beginning with their Nature Crisp properties in Georgia. But the political process in Georgia was slow, and it was obvious that rules governing hemp production would not be written in time for a 2019 growing season.
States that had a 2014 Farm Bill are still able to operate because they had a pilot program in place. And we had to pick states that were allowing farmers to apply for licenses under that to be able to produce this year in 2019. We don't anticipate the USDA rules to be ready until the 2020 growing season, so we were very limited with the states that we could work within.
He held a series of meetings in several states seeking high-quality farming partners.
When Village Fields Hemp puts on a meeting for our growers, I walk in the room and the biggest thing I want to impress upon all the growers there is that the Village team brings years of experience to help them through all the minor details that they may not think of.
Our partnership with Village Fields really puts us in a good position to learn from their experience as well as being on the front end so we can better utilize our own operation and become more efficient.
Even before Village Fields Hemp's formation was finalized in March, Phil already had several grower partners for the 2019 season.
I think things happened fast for us this year, and with the Farm Bill being signed in December, to where we are right now was a whirlwind, to say the least.
Launching a new crop in America while securing a supply chain for seeds, equipment, and labor, all in a matter of a couple of months, seems impossible. Yet that is exactly what happened.
Village Fields has delivered on everything they told me that they were going to do, and everything that they told all those growers in that meeting that they were going to do.
There was a lot of trepidation on the part of a lot of these farmers about trying something new, so we went out and partnered up with some really good people in these areas that had a good reputation in the farming world, and helped us find farmers to put together and build these programs.
They have come in and they're putting skin in the game, which gave me the optimism that if they're interested enough to put skin in it, that they're going to do all they can to help it work for me.
I had other companies that had been talking about buying the crop, but nothing really concrete.
Nobody else in any other industry has ever come up here and said, hey, we're going to provide you a budget to grow this crop for us, and we'll have people here to help you along the way.
That's just unheard of.
When Village Fields told us that they would inject so much money into it, I thought, hey, this company is really serious about being vested with the grower.
My biggest thing was the financing part because it was so expensive to get into. And when Village Fields came along and provided that and the opportunity to have the agronomy and some financing and took a little more of the risk off of me, I was a no-brainer then, so I was on board.
We don't want to see anyone fail, especially not anyone that's working with us. And that's why we have such a vested interest in our program with our farmers to make sure they're successful, because their success is ultimately Village Fields hemp success.
Companies don't do business with companies, people do business with people. We knew right away that Phil was the kind of person we wanted to do business with.
Village Fields Hemp has direct seeded, propagated in the greenhouse, and field planted 2.6 million seedlings, resulting in over 750 acres of hemp growing in several states. The 2019 harvest is looking very promising, setting the stage for future hemp production in America.
All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed that little video there. Let's see if we can. Looks like we got our computer not responding. It's always fun. But yeah, and let's see. One last thing that I didn't mention was that we can that the Village Farms they have a new website on the Pure Sun Farms, that is puresunfarms.com. So if you check that website out, there's lots of stuff to read there. Obviously my computer's crashing, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave you with that information to go check out the Pure Sun Farms website.com. Check out puresunfarms.com, folks. And check out and subscribe. Yeah, take a minute to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right now if you have time. If you've been watching this whole long video, then you definitely want to hit that subscribe button and get more videos like it. And until next time, folks, this is Cannabis Stock News Today, signing out. And here's a quick look at the site that loads that I was mentioning, by the way. And of course, the website does load. Sorry, I'm actually, it's my internet connection right now. Anyway, this is how the website starts, but I would recommend checking it out and reading. There's lots of fun articles on there. And I'll catch everybody next time on this excellent channel for Cannabis Stock News, folks. Signing out.